Hi guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to create this look. This is kind of like a burnt out bohemian kind of makeup look which I created on my gorgeous model Chloe. I was invited along to Code Cosmetics in Llandudno and I created the look using entirely Peggy Sage or Peggy Sage, however you want to say it, products. It's a new brand and they're amazing. So I started off the look by applying moisturiser all over the face, and this is the Instant Beauty Serum. So I just began by applying it to the T-zone and then blended it out all over the face using my hands. I then primed the skin using the Mattifying base, and again using my hands I just began at the T-zone. This is the area where you tend to find most of your pores. So you want to begin there, making sure the skin is lovely and smooth before you apply anything to the face. So then I'm going to start by drawing on the eyebrows. I always like to do the eyebrows first in any face that I'm doing. I just feel like it helps frame the face ready for any eye work that you're about to do. So what I'm using here is the new eyebrow powder by Peggy Sage in the colour Brown. And I'm just using the brush that it comes with to apply it directly onto the client's face. And then I'm actually using a nail angled brush just to help blend out towards the inner corners of the eyes. It's kind of a very popular look with the eyebrows. Most of my clients ask for it, this kind of faded ombre eyebrow look. I'm then using the Sable Twist Dark Circle Concealer Pencil, and what I'm doing is I've just kind of decanted some of this onto my hand and I'm dipping a round tip brush onto my hand and then applying it onto the face. I just find using a brush helps me have a tiny bit more control over where I'm putting the concealer. You can get right up to the edges of the eyebrows, and you want to apply that concealer around the eyebrows, making them more defined, and then you want to blend out the concealer into the rest of the face. Once your eyebrows are done, you then want to prime your eyelids ready for all your eyeshadows. So what I'm using is the Peggy Sage Eyeshadow Base, and I'm just applying that all over the lids, up to the brow bone, and then I'm also blending it down towards the nose a tiny bit, just to make sure you're covering all areas of where your eyeshadow placement wants to be. So we're now moving on to the eyeshadows, and I'm using this white pigment which is called Coco Mytille, and it's the one on the left in the picture. And what I'm doing, again using a round tip brush, I'm just packing on the colour to the inner corners of the eyes near the tear ducts, and then onto the top of the brow bone just underneath the eyebrow, just to give it a nice shimmer when the light hits it. I absolutely adore these Peggy Sage eyeshadows. You can go into the shop and they're all sold separately, and you can go in and create your own palette essentially, which is what I've done here. And the first colour that I've used as my transition colour for this is the colour Apricot, and I'm using that on a fluffy brush, just blending it out into the crease and then slowly up to the brow bone as well, just to mix it in with that highlight, just to get that soft kind of orangey colour. Then to darken that crease, I'm actually using a blusher, which again fits into that same palette. The blusher colour is called Peche, and again I'm just applying that more so into the crease, less onto the brow bone, just to darken that crease. I'm now taking the colour Moka, and I'm using a more compact, smaller fluffy brush, a bit like a pencil brush, and what I'm doing is drawing C shapes on the outer corners of the eyes using this pencil brush. And then what I'm going to go in is do the same on the inside corner of the eyes, but in the opposite direction, creating almost like two brackets. And this is the start of what is called a spotlight eye. It's where the outside corners are darker and then the middle is lighter. And then you want to just go back in with your fluffy brush and just blend all this back out into the apricot. Now mixing some of the colour Noir with some of the Moka, I'm just going to darken the outside corners, make them a bit more smoky, a bit more intense. Again using that compact pencil brush just to darken those corners. Now taking your round tip brush again, I'm going to dip that into this intense bronze, and this is going to be packed onto the centre lids. So the area where you haven't touched yet, you're going to place this intense bronze all over the lid. And as you can see, it's still lighter, so you've got your darker outsides and then this intense bronze goes into the lighter bit in the middle. Now using the pigment on the right hand side, and this one is called, don't quote me, it's called Melon Givre or Givre, I'm not too sure, it's French, I don't speak French, but what we're doing is again placing this on the round tip brush and just tapping it onto the middle of the eye so you get a nice little shimmer, as you can see when Chloe opens and closes her eyes. Using this two-phase eye cleanser, I'm now going to wipe away all the excess eyeshadows that have fallen underneath the eyes and that are along the bottom lash line, ready for eyeshadow application underneath the eyes. So what we're going to do for the underneath of the eyes is essentially mirror what we've just done on the top. So we start by applying our eye base primer, and then we're going to dip our round tip brush into the Noir and the Moka and darken both outside corners of the eye, so the inside and the outside, still keeping that spotlight look. Then we're going to take our Peche and Apricot, and we're just going to blend that softly towards the centre of the eye, still keeping that light. And then we're going to take the Melon pigment again and just dot that right in the middle, still keeping that centre part of the eye bright and the outsides darker. Using the nail brush again, I'm going to dip that into the hot chocolate eyeshadow and just line the waterline, just to make everything more intense, make it more smoky. And I always think if you're going to go dark underneath the eyes, then you should line your waterline, makes everything come together. And we're just going to go back in with our fluffy blending brush just to tidy up all the underneath, make sure all the colours are blended well together. And then to tidy all that up again, we're going to take the two-phase eye cleanser again, this time on a cotton bud, just so we have a tiny bit more control where we're tidying underneath the eyes. You don't want to take away too much from the tear duct, and also you don't want to take away too much close to the lash line either. You know, you've done all that work, you kind of want to see that smokiness. And we're now going to apply a generous coat of the fabulous mascara, both to the top and to the bottom lashes. You can just see how great this mascara is. I'm not really one for mascara, but it just left Chloe's lashes looking lovely and full. And I'm lining the lashes with this brush liner in Noir. Again, using that nail, the nail brush is actually called a one-stroke nail brush. So I'm just decanting some of it onto my hand and then dipping the brush into it and then just slowly and carefully lining the lash line. The lashes that I've chosen for this look are again Peggy Sage, and they don't really have a name other than number 130934 in the catalogue. I chose them because they had this lovely feather effect, which I felt kind of tied in with the whole bohemian look that we were going for. So we applied them using the glue that they came with in the packaging. You want to apply a thin coat to the lash. You do a little lash dance as you waft them around so it dries, and you want to make sure that that glue is tacky before you apply it to your client's face. Once your lashes are on and the glue's dried, you want to go back in with your eyeliner just to apply another thin coat over the top of the glue, just to hide the glue, because sometimes it doesn't always dry clear. Sometimes you can get some of the white poking through, so if you just line it with a bit of liner, then it all disappears. And we're just going to take some of the Mascara Gel just to coat through the eyebrows, just to keep them all in place, you know, make sure they don't move throughout the day. And then that's basically just kind of the finishing look to the whole eyes. So now we're moving on to the face, and to start I am just applying a base illuminator. This is quite similar to the MAC Strobe Cream, but obviously it's Peggy Sage. So I'm using a foundation brush and I'm just applying this into all the areas where your face will naturally pick up the light. So it's the higher areas of the faces, like your cheekbones, your nose, your forehead. So this is the new contour palette by Peggy Sage. She just brought this out, and I was very lucky to get one of these from Nikki at Coco Cosmetics. And I have to say, I cannot rate it high enough. Like, it's so pigmented and it's so creamy and it's easy to blend. It's gorgeous. So what I've done is taken the pink colour from the palette and just applied this underneath the eyes just to cancel out any dark circles that Chloe had. So now we're using the white part of the contour palette, and we're going to use this to highlight. Again, using that round dip brush, we're just applying it to all the areas that will be raised on the face, underneath the eyes, the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, underneath the cheekbones and along the chin. The foundation that I'm using is the Aquasilky foundation, and I'm using the colour Beige Sable on Chloe's skin because she's quite fair. So what I'm doing is I'm applying the foundation using a foundation brush, and I'm just applying it to, first of all, to all the empty areas of the face, so basically where that white highlight isn't, and then I'm using the brush to blend the foundation and the white highlight together, so it kind of becomes all one cohesive look. Once you feel you have blended as much as you can using your foundation brush, I then like to switch over to a damp sponge, usually a beauty blender, and I will just blend this all around the eye area, just kind of pressing onto the skin, not swiping, I just feel like it gives it an extra kind of airbrush effect. So now we've highlighted, and now I'm going to go in with the first contour colour. So it's not the darkest, but it's going to suit Chloe's fair complexion, and I'm just going to apply this to the hollows of Chloe's face, so underneath the cheekbones, the top of the forehead, down the sides of the nose and underneath her chin. And again, I'm blending this out using the foundation brush, and then I'm going to go in with the damp sponge just to make sure that everything is blended in flawlessly so that there's no harsh lines from the contour. I'm going to set Chloe's face using the translucent pressed powder, and I'm applying this using a stipple brush. You don't want to apply too much translucent powder, just a light dusting all over the face. Too much is going to give terrible flashback, especially when using flash photography. I added an extra bit of shimmer highlights on Chloe's cheekbones, down the nose, on the forehead and on the cupid's bow, and I did this using the peach illuminating powder from Peggy Sage. I especially like adding an extra bit of shimmer highlight onto the cupid's bow, as I think it just helps give the illusion of more full lips, which is, you know, it's very in trend at the minute to have full lips. I used the face and body illuminating powder just to add an extra bit of contour. It is a bronzer, and it's a very large palette, which is great, you know, it's a lot of product in it. Just add a tiny bit of warmth to Chloe's face, you know, you don't want the face to look too flat, so just adding a tiny bit, you know, into the hollows where you've originally contoured, that's gonna, you know, make the features pop a lot more. Now adding a hint of blusher to Chloe's cheeks, colour again, French Monjou I want to call it. Anyway, it's a lovely kind of peachy colour, ties in with the rest of the theme of the face, and we're just applying it to the apples of the cheeks and then using circular motions on a big powder brush to bring it right up to the hairline. I used a combination of 3 products for the lips. I used a liner, a jumbo pencil and a gloss. So with the liner, that was the waterproof lip liner in the colour Bordeaux. So as you can see, I'm just slowly outlining the lips. This always helps to give you a bit more of a full lip if you outline the lips first. And then I slightly contour the lips by just drawing 2 diagonal lines coming from the top lip and then 1 straight down the middle. Then used a jumbo lip pencil in the colour Choco Tasty, and I used this just to fill in the rest of the lips where the lip liner hasn't touched. And then I went over with this Silky Lips lip gloss, and that's in the colour Silky Lilac, and I just applied that all over the lips just to give it a nice glossy finish. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked it, I hope you found it helpful, and please check out some of Peggy Sage products because they are incredible. Thanks for watching.